Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I've got some time here before I have to hop in the shower and get ready for work and have to let my dog out to go to the bathroom before I do anything, before I leave, too. I don't have to actually leave until 5 minutes before I have to get my bus, so I still got time. I've got about, let's see, 15 minutes, an hour, 65, and then 55. Let's see. Trying to figure something out here. So hold on. So 15 to 15 is an hour to 10:65 to 05:70 is 75 at 8 o'clock. 80 at 55. I got about 85 minutes. So I still got plenty of time to go and catch my bus. But anyway, you see the title down below. And first of all, I will let you know that I do have a video coming up. It's a room tour of it's my first room tour of this year. So hope you guys enjoy that when I bring it up. Um, anyway, anyway, I wanted to discuss something real quickly as best I can on this Friday morning, and that is basically you see the title of the video here, and in fact, I can just check it here. The title of the video is this live video, as you can see, is should My Little Pony Generation 5, which has been confirmed to be happening, be a soft reboot, retcon, continuation of Friendship is Magic. Now, the reason I bring that up, folks, the reason I bring that up is mainly due to the fact that word has gone around and Millennium has actually brought this up a couple of times himself. But like I said, Millennium has brought this up a couple of times himself. Uh, basically, basically, um, but basically, hold on for a second. I know you're thinking, oh, you're doing it again, Brian. You're rambling and repeating. So I do apologize for that. I do. Um, I should do it. But anyway, what I'm saying is, well, let me start over. Basically, there is word going around. Millennium has reported this, and I'm sure other people have reported this. That that basically Equestria Girls is going to the spinoff of Friendship is Magic is going to be continuing on well into Generation 5. And, one has to wonder how that's going to work out if Equestria Girls is directly tied in, or directly or loosely tied in, as I just said in the description, as I mentioned in the description box. How is that going to work out? Um, I had to move my mic there for a second. If they are, if if EQG, as it's called for short, is loosely or if not directly tied into Friendship is Magic, and the reason I say that is it's not going to make a lot of sense if you have a Twilight encountering a Twilight unless you go a dimensional route, unless you go the route of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And what I'm talking about is if you look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and several other franchises that go down this route, um, basically they create what is known as multiverses. I know what you're thinking. DC Comics is known for this. Marvel Comics is known for this. And you're right. They are known for this. There's no doubt about it. DC Comics has a freaking toy line, if not a comic toy line, based around this. And, it's obvious that, you know, it's proved to be a success. So I'm not saying that if they want to continue Equestria Girls well into Generation 5, that they wouldn't go that route. But it just wouldn't make any real sense when you've pretty much already firmly established over the past several years that it's directly tied into Friendship is Magic. I mean, heck, you got a freaking special coming up on the 17th of February, which is a 1 hour Equestria Girls special, basically two-part, which is basically a 44-minute mini movie, which is in reality a two-part, is two 22-minute episodes, needed, netted or fused into one episode, one movie. So, you have that coming up, and that's based, of course, on a novel, a junior novel. And in there, I'm not trying to give much away, but in there, one of the prominent characters of the show, Sunset, once again, just like she did, I think, in Mirror Magic, goes back to Equestria to get the help of Twilight. But there is a moment in there, and I was watching, I've been watching a lot of the analyst Bronies react videos, and I saw how Thespio in Midnight Sorrenta, I think. Let me try to bring up her name here. I don't see it. It's let me try Thespio. Let's just say try Thespio. Yeah, Sorrenta, or whatever her name is. I'm sorry. Um, but Midnight Sorrenta. I was watching, like I said, the analysis Brony reacts, and one of the episodes, basically they react, basically they react to major episodes, mostly premieres and finales. And I was watching the one that, and I was watching the reaction video they did for To Where and Back Again. And there was a moment in there where they were talking about Starlight getting an invitation back to her old village for the Sunset Festival. And Midnight's the one that pointed out, what the festival was called. And on screen, you saw them looking at the word sunset plus festival. And then you saw an image of Sunset as a pony. And then you saw this like little picture show up of her with Twilight, and then her kind of hugging or kind of nuzzling with Celestia. And and Thespio and Midnight were like, "Oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, be it." And all I could say is, with the upcoming special, because it's based on a junior novel or loosely based on it, we're probably going to get that scene, because from what the junior novel said, and I've read up on it, she spends, because the story I think is going to require it, she spends a significant time, not a major time, but just a significant amount of time, because the story calls for it, in Equestria with Twilight and Celestia. So she ends up reuniting with Celestia in the special that's upcoming. So now the reason I bring that up is that is right there. That upcoming special is just one example of how this is all tied in. Is all tied in to basically what I'm trying to say is that special that's upcoming in February pretty much shows how much the both Friendship is Magic and Equestria Girls are tied together, are directly connected together, loosely directly and sometimes loosely connected together. So you're probably wondering why I bring that up. Well, here's the thing. Um, the reason I bring that up is because it's going to have a moment fans have been waiting for to happen on screen, not in book, but on screen to occur, and it's going to. But the reason I bring that up is the fact that if Equestria Girls is going to continue on into Generation 5, why have a special like this in the first place if you're planning down the line to continue Equestria Girls with Generation 5? I know that doesn't really make some sense, but the point I'm trying to make, and again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself and rambling, is what sense does it make to make all this Equestria Girls stuff after the movies they've made? What's the point of making them if you're going to probably find a way to connect them to Generation 5? It doesn't make sense, right? But the way I think it's going to connect is it's still going to be connected. Hear me out. Let me get some coffee. I know I'm rambling and everything. It's early. I got to get ready for work. I'm trying to get this done in a timely manner. But what I'm saying is, okay, let me put it like this. I know it kind of sounded like a rambled on. I do apologize. But what I'm saying is, you take a look at the upcoming special, and my leg hit the mic there, so I do apologize. But you take a look at the upcoming special, okay? You take a look at the upcoming special, and excuse me, and even if it's loosely based on the junior novel Friendship to Remember, which came out according to Google here back in December last month, if you will. So that's kind of a quick adapting of it, unless they were both in the works at the same time. And if one major significant part of this takes place in the Friendship is Magic world of Equestria, and in Canterlot of all places, it shows basically that despite how you view it, both shows are kind of connected loosely, if not directly. So if that's the case, and Sunset's got to spend a significant amount of time in Equestria and Canterlot coming up with, working with Twilight and Celestia on a solution to her problem back in the human world, then let me ask you this. Why would they put that moment, that scene in the novel, and possibly, most likely, in the animated adaptation, if they weren't both connected to each other? If there wasn't some direct connection, they wouldn't. If they wanted to keep Equestria Girls separate, then they keep it separate. But they still connect both shows together. And like I said, when Millennium and a few other sources came out and said, hey, Gen 5 is going to Equestria Girls is still going to be around even when Gen 5 is around, Generation 5 comes around, and be connected to that in a sense. It's like, how are you going to do that? And I know it took me a while to get to this, and I do apologize. But I look at it this way. If they're going to continuously connect Equestria Girls to Generation 5, even after Friendship is Magic is over, then they need to do something on the Friendship is Magic side that's going to make that happen. What they need to do, and again, I do apologize if I rambled a lot just to get to this point, but what they need to do honestly is they're going to connect. If they're going to keep Equestria Girls connected to My Little Pony, and mostly Generation 5 in some way, is like I say in the description box, they need to basically do a soft reboot retcon continuation of Friendship is Magic in Generation 5. Hear me out. If you take a look behind me, these posters here are collage posters of covers of the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie run. And this one represents when they started what was known as the NU 52, or the Sonic reboot or soft retcon and reboot to the comic, of course, due to behind the scenes legal issues. But this is when they changed things around to the point that the characters got some new redesigns. Basically, they still look the same, but they had new redesigns. Like some had new, new looks, new backgrounds in a sense, what have you. So new backgrounds are basically some new looks, like clothing, like Sally fully clothed and all that. Uh, Bunny, ponytail now all the time. I'm you get the point. Antoine going from his guard's uniform to just like like some kind of, not a guard's uniform, but kind of like a soldier like uniform or whatever it was, just like crossed from here and here, and that's it. But the point is, they went through some numerous changes, but they still kept the continuity. They kept the continuity, in a sense, of the original timeline for a while. And in a sense, even when the comic came to an end, an abrupt end, if you will, when the partnership was ended between Sega and Archie, they still somewhat kept the continuation. They still kept the same continuity going even up to that point. So the reason I bring that up is the only way I can see Equestria Girls continuing on alongside Generation 5 is if Generation 5 goes in that similar direction of softly retconning, rebooting, and being a continuation of Friendship is Magic. In other words, just like they did with the Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and I'm sure they've done with other franchises as well, comic book wise and what have you, they need to basically um, do some kind of storyline, big event that, as I've mentioned in other videos, that will make people want to tune in, make fans want to tune in to Generation 5 within, let's say, the following week or in the next few months to see the aftermath of the cliffhanger ending to Friendship is Magic. Because if Hasbro and DHX Media was to do that, not only would it get the current fandom, bronies, Pegasisters, community, fan base, what have you, to tune in and watch the premiere of Generation 5, but it would basically, in a sense, what I'm trying to say is it would basically, in a sense, continue the continuity of Friendship is Magic, but in the new generation. And to me, that would work And to me, that would probably be the best way to go because it would still somewhat have a connection to Equestria Girls because it would still be the same characters, but all you have done on the Friendship is Magic side is redesign them, kind of change things up about them. We hear about Fluttershy going the unicorn way, and Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash still being a Pegasus, but Pinkie Pie now being a Pegasus, and Twilight becoming an Earth pony, and Applejack still being an Earth pony, and Rarity still being a unicorn. Some things staying the same thing. Like some of the characters keeping their races, and some changing races, and even designs and all that. I think that's the best way to go. If you're going to still continuously connect Equestria Girls to the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic or Generation 4, Generation 5 world, because if you don't and you make Generation 5 completely different, like you're just starting all over again, it's like now we're rebooting all over again. Things have changed. If you go like that, it's not going to make sense because fans are going to expect Sunset Shimmer to go back to Equestria again, maybe in another story, but they're not going to want to expect her to go to an Equestria she doesn't know. They're going to expect her to go to Equestria and meet up with characters she does know and not characters that don't know her. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, that might work in their favor, and it might if they wanted to just go completely new and everything, and then kind of solve the situation on the Equestria Girl side, and that might work. That might work, but when I look at it, when I look at it, in a sense, I think the best solution for them to do is to do some kind of finale for Friendship is Magic that ends on a cliffhanger, and the only way you see the aftermath of said cliffhanger is to tune into Generation 5, because that way you're basically connecting the two together. You're kind of keeping that same continuity, but what you're doing is you're ending it on a cliffhanger to where some big event happens that softly retcons and reboots everything we know about Equestria and the main six, but to the point that the main six still know who they are, still remember what happened, but then notice that what has changed is not only that they got new looks, like new redesigns and all that, which, like let's say Applejack could have a hybrid of what's being proposed as a new redesign, but a hybrid of what she is now and what that could be, or what that design is. And they also notice that not only have, but basically the point I'm getting at is they can remember what happened and then notice, oh crap, what, like Twilight would try to do some magic and then notice, hey, where's my horn? Where's my wings? And then she returns, see Fluttershy with the horn and maybe the wings, and then realize, oh crap, that event or whatever it is, it switched us all around. She can notice, like, let's say Pinkie now is a Pegasus, and there you go. And then maybe they can notice that they're kind of different in a sense. Like maybe they look different. The cutie marks are a lot bigger in a sense than they were, in different areas of the bodies, what have you. But the point is, the point I'm getting at is that to me is the best solution to go down. It is the best solution, because if you're going to continuously connect something to something else that you spun off from the previous property or the previous incarnation, then the best way to do that is a soft retcon and reboot continuation of the previous incarnation. That's what you do. You keep some kind of continuity going so that nobody's really confused. And like I said, what you could do is have some kind of big event occur that ends in a cliffhanger where things get, whited out. Just like in the Sonic comics, they did this. They did this in the Sonic comics and other kind of comics. They would do a whiteout to where when you get a white in the following issue, so everything is changed. things have changed. Either people remember what characters remember what happened, but then they notice things about them have changed, or there's this completely rebooted retcon environment to where things have changed, maybe for the better or for the worse. But in this case, I think they have to go this route. They have to go the soft retcon reboot continuation route with Generation 5 after Friendship is Magic, because that way you keep that continuity flow going and it's less confusing for the established fans, established bronies and Pegasisters and fan base community and members of the Rift and Secret Rift Cafe. It's less confusing for them, and it's less confusing for maybe some of the newer people, even the younger originally intended younger viewers as well, because you're still continuing on with the same continuity. All you've done is softly retcon some moments, some character redesigns, some characters' origins, but in a sense, you've kept them. But in a way, you've allowed them to keep the memories about the event that's caused this, and then maybe you can do some kind of story down the line where Twilight maybe contacts Sunset, or Sunset contacts Twilight, and Twilight explains what happens, because maybe Sunset gets some kind of feeling, some magical vibration from it, and kind of getting that vibration or feeling makes her want to promptly connect with Twilight and everybody to see what happened if they felt it. So to me, I think that is probably the best solution for Hasbro and DHX Media to go down. And I know some people would think they would never do that. They would never go down that route. Usually when they want to reboot something, they're just going to completely do it. And that's true. They are the kind of company that would completely do it. But right now, you're innocent. Hasbro and DHX Media have to realize that they are in a situation right now to where if they're going to go the G5 route out, they need to do it, and they're going to continue, I should say, to have Equestria Girls kind of be part of that. Then they need to do a soft retcon reboot, continuation of Friendship as Magic into Generation 5, so that at least there's that continuity connection still going on. Now, again, I apologize if it sounds like I'm rambling and repeating myself. I do apologize for that. I'm just the kind of guy that likes to list things and talk about things off the top of my head, unscripted and all that. So I do apologize. Kind of shoot, if you will, from the hip. But yeah, I think honestly they need to do that. They need to go in that direction. They need to do something that in a sense keeps the characters as they are going into G5, but it's some kind of event that causes Equestria to change to the point that the lands around them become what's being proposed as planets for the different ponies. And then, like I said, you could have some kind of moment on the Equestria Girls side where Sunset feels this magical vibrational change or something happening, contacts Twilight to find out what's going on, and then gets an explanation of, oh, this happened. And this is why I look. And then Twilight can explain, yeah, this is why I look like my, through the journal, or she can explain mirror to mirror. This is why I'm an Earth pony now, or this is why Fluttershy's the unicorn. This is why Pinky on this side can now fly. She's a Pegasus. Things like that. And I think it could work. I really do. I think it would work. I think, honestly, if they go that route, which I believe is probably the most sensible route to go in, I think fans would be very appreciative of it because, like I said, it would be less confusing. It'd still keep the continuity going between both Equestria Girls and Friendship is Magic. Well, Friendship is Magic, even if we're continuing it into Generation 5. And it gives, a lot of the fan base a reason to tune into Generation 5 because it'd still be somewhat a continuation of Friendship is Magic. So I think that's the best solution for Hasbro and DHX Media and the creative staff to go down. And I'm pretty sure someone may have proposed this idea already, because to me, like I said, this is the best solution to go down. It really is. And I know some of you watching post live or live right now may not agree with that, but I think it works in the end. I really do. Because if you want to do a movie, like the one of the ideas that was leaked is there's a proposal to do a movie pilot for Generation 5. Why not use the aftermath of the Friendship is Magic finale cliffhanger as the plot point for that movie pilot to not only establish G5, but establish the fact that it's still connected to Friendship is Magic because of what's happened, and thus also connected to Equestria Girls. You still keep that continuity. You still keep that continuity that fans so much that fans, like, let's say, Voice of Reason, so much desire to have. And, it to me, it would work in the end. It would work in Hasbro and DHX Media's favor because they would still get Generation 5, but they'd be keeping somewhat, if not most, of what Friendship is Magic was continuity-wise. So, to me, I think it would work. I think to me, it's probably the best solution when you get down to it. Because when I look at something like Sonic and what they did, and then what other properties have done similarly, it does work. I mean, you're basically keeping the continuity of the previous timeline or the previous incarnation alive, but you're still getting you're still getting somewhat of a reboot and a retcon of the original premise into something different. And to me, that could work as well for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic if you're going to continually have Equestria Girls that spin-off be connected in some shape or form or fashion. So honestly, to me, that is the best direction. That's the best solution and the best option for them to go in when it comes to Generation 5. They need to make it a soft retcon reboot continuation of Friendship is Magic. So if, they're going to continuously connect Equestria Girls to it. So really, that's all I'm going to say on it. Again, I do apologize if I rambled a little bit and repeated myself throughout this. Again, like I said, I just like to go off of the top of my head, unscripted, kind of shoot from the hip. That's just my style. So I do apologize if that's annoying to some, but that's just how I am. And I do appreciate the advice and all that. I really do. So, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think if they're going to do Generation 5, that Generation 5 should be not something completely new, but a soft retcon and reboot continuation of Friendship is Magic if they're going to keep Equestria Girls connected to it? Let me know what you guys think down below about that. And so anyway, that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think. I got to go get ready for work. Thank you all for watching live. Thank you all for watching post live. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment sections below, and I'll talk to y'all later.